Powerless, yes or no? So, today in this vlog, I'm going to be straight to the point, yes or no, but I will also be saying the basic storyline and the things I don't like. So, I'm going to be ranting about the things I don't like. So, this is just a disclaimer, right? That I'm going to rant a lot in this. So, let's get into the video. Into the book. Okay, I didn't mean literally, but it's okay. So the story starts with Payton, the main character, right? So she is right over here, the loot alley, right there. Okay, so let's get into loot alley and picture her there. And there are two princes here. The princes' names are Kit and Kai, right? And then there's like a king and a queen here, right? And then there's like people all over here, and she is in a chimney. So the story starts off. She is in a chimney, and she is basically I'm not gonna get much into details, but she is basically in like in the chimney hiding from the Imperials. They're basically like soldiers of the kingdom, and they're searching for her, and she is trying to hide from them. And then what happens is she is basically unordinary. Ordinary is, so there is like this chart which will be shown on the screen right now.
This is the triangle. There is elites like the royal family, and then mundane who have a little less level of powers like very good hearing, and lastly ordinaries are ones without powers like Payton, but she acts like she has a mundane power to survive in Ilya.
So back from that triangle, we're here, and I will continue with the little storyline. So she goes on stealing, as you know, she's an ordinary loot alley and she's not supposed to be there. So she acts like she has mundane powers. So she steals from people, and she found the perfect target. A guy who looks like he's wearing good clothes, and that is the prince. So she goes. Her technique is to grab the collar and act like she just bumped in, put her hand into the pocket, get the money, and go. So she did the same thing, but she noticed there was a lot of coins. If she took all of it, the weight will be obviously visible. So she took half of it, and she continued on. And soon after, she saw that there was this alley, and in that alley, there was like a fight going on, and all the people have gathered up. And after she went and saw what it was, she saw that it was the prince, and the prince was basically fighting for his life. And okay, so she sees Kai, and Kai is one of the princes. Prince, my bad, not princess. Okay, and she is basically like, how do I explain? Like she does not know he's still a prince, but she sees like he's just fighting. He's just a normal guy fighting these people, and nobody's doing nothing. So she goes, helps him, and there's this silencer. Okay, it's one of the mundane powers who can suppress a person's power. Okay, so she helps, and she realizes that it is the prince, and she is like, why did I? Because she does not like the royal family. They killed her dad because he was, I think I'm not sure why, but because of that she does not like them. And the other thing is that she got selected into the trials. The trials is like a type of like competition, and she got into that because of her saving the prince. And let me explain what the trial is. There are three trials, and uh, and like you are supposed to survive it. So there are all like different challenges in them, and this book circles around it and her along with the royal family. So she gets in to the castle because of that, and she originally has this friend of sorts, basically a sister, a seamstress, Adena, and she has to leave her behind and go. And she has the first trial, I think. Yeah, no, actually before the first trial they had a ball, and for that she got Adena back as a seamstress, and then they had the ball, and then the first trial, and it continues on. So I'm not going into details because then it will take forever. So the next thing to note is that this is where I'm going to start ranting. You guys are probably waiting for it. So the second trial is they have to, I think, climb a mountain of sorts, and I did not like it because it was so short. And I think it was only there because they want to make it that there's three trials, and that was the only reason, like a background character which hasn't been given enough information about, or just because they need one. Just like, okay, this is a reference, like the Saja boys, you only know the past of Genu, no one else, like Abby, Mystery, none of them. So it's exactly like that. So you don't, it's just there because there is supposed to be three trials, but other than that there is no reason for it. There was only two, there was no point. The first and the last had some like um personality, I think, but the others did not have any personality, and I don't like that fact at all. If you're writing it because it's supposed to be there, at least give it a little bit of personality. It had very less personality, almost none. And to make it short, the third trial happens and everything happens, and then the king dies because of Payton, and there is Kai and Kit left, and they feel betrayed. Especially Kit, because he was good friends with her, and there is this group called it's a resistance against these elites because they feel it's very unfair. So she helps them by betraying Kit, and at the end they feel so bad. So the next book is about that. And now let me rant about something else I did not like, and about the whole entire book and what I think about it.
Okay, so
So
technically they
overall, I
don't
give
have to
it a
kill them,
3.5
but
stars. It's
obviously
good, but
they
I've
have
heard
to
that it's been
fight for
copied
it
of
and
this book
survive.
called The Red
But
Queen, I
honestly,
think,
that is
and
very less chances.
I'm not
I think
sure.
people
I don't want to
have died
read
in
that
the
book to
first
find
trial
out.
as
Maybe
well.
you can.
So
So
what
yes,
happens
no, or
is there's
maybe.
a
I
lot of
think it's a
fighting
maybe.
going
It's a
on,
3.5
and
stars,
like
3 to
I
3.5
feel
stars
like
for me.
this whole
It's a
book is a
good
little
book, but
over
sometimes
the top.
some parts are a
Okay,
little
because there's
over
this
the
part
top,
coming up which
and
is a little
there are
over the
some
top.
mistakes through
So
it,
basically,
which are
everyone
significant
there's
to
no
the whole
such rule you can't
storyline.
team up, but just
Others,
it's
other
basically
things
a
are
survival
fine,
game, and
but
you're supposed to have the worst
overall,
band. So
I
if you
think
team
there
up,
is still
only
room
one
for
person can still
improvement.
win.
And
So
I,
like they go on
after this book,
fighting
I
and all,
decided not
and
to
then
read the
Peyton
rest of
gets
the
really hurt
series
badly, and then
because I don't
Kai
think it's worth for me, but
finds
for many,
finds her
it
and
will be worth. I know that
saves her. Then after
because
that,
personally, a
they
lot of people
decide
love
to
the
team
series,
up
especially on
and
Book Talk. So I think this
all,
video is
and
really important
it's
because it
just
captures
a
honesty
little
very
over the
much, I
top,
think,
I think,
because many
because
people
at the end they
think
just need to
it's
survive, and I
very
think the reason
nice, and I
why they are
don't.
teaming up is because
I think
obviously they're the
this
main
Book Talk would have
characters,
gone
so it
crazy
would
with
make
this one,
sense.
especially
And
because it
then
might
I'm not
have
going into
been
much
very much
details, but
copied,
let's just
and
go through the book.
it
So
still
after
needs
that,
a lot of
like
improvement.
she
So that's it. Bye,
basically
guys.
Please like and subscribe.